Hi, it's Joy, and today we're watching The Dragon Prince Season 7, Episode 1, Death Alive. This is the beginning of the end, the beginning of the final season. I'm not ready for the show to end, but I'm so excited and really glad and thankful we didn't have to wait too long for this season. Reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance, and let's go!
But the Fallen One brings eternal night.
Cosmo.
Well, that's cheerful, thanks.
Someone has to do something.
They can't. They won't. They don't know.
Well, you could tell them, and then they would know, and then they could do something.
No, blinded by the searing light of their own self-righteousness.
Claudia, please realise what you've done and try and stop it.
And
Yeah, you've made all the wrong choices still, sweetheart. Even Terry, who was your goodness, told you not to do this.
Must be alive.
No, it's not possible. The
I know
enchantment
how
is
hard
weakened, and now the lotus floats.
it is to hope, but I promise you it is true.
Yes.
I'm afraid something terrible happened.
It did.
I know. That's why you need to go.
I don't like them splitting up.
Callum, you're stuck with me now.
She might go back, but it doesn't mean she'll stay there.
You go ahead. I won't leave without you.
I really, really
As soon as Renana's
don't like
better,
this, though.
I'll come and find
I
you
don't
in
trust it.
Taurus. I promise.
Like, I trust them, and I trust what Rhaegar is saying, and that she believes it, but I do not trust that things are going to go the way we want it to.
Perhaps it's time we go on our way. You look quite capable.
Mhm.
I'm sure you've got it from here.
Yep.
But is he gone? My
Claudia.
father. You helped me bring him back before. Can't we
Honestly,
just do it
like the
again?
letter Viren wrote to Soren and then never showed him, he was right to not show it to Soren because it was excuses. Like, there might have been a time, if things had gone differently, where Soren would have been in a place where that would have helped him to hear, but it wasn't then. But Claudia needed to hear that story to understand why her family ended up down this path, and that it wasn't Erebos
Even if
and
it's
his
just
ideas.
can become caught in a place between life and death.
Which is the worst thing you would want for someone you cared about.
Called the in-between.
And also, Claudia, his unfinished business was stopping Erebos.
My dad's
It's possible.
Oh, another way to manipulate her and keep her dancing on his string.
Getting her hopes up.
I merely answered her question.
No, you're keeping her dancing to your
He
tune.
left us. He was
But what if he's caught there? In the in-between? Shouldn't we check?
The only reason he would be there is because he was trying to undo what you have just done. Honestly, how far can Terry stay? How much can you excuse of a loved one before what they've done becomes inexcusable? Most of the people made it, sweetheart. Most of them are okay. I don't know where they are currently. I know it's devastating to see your home like this, but look around you. You don't see bodies everywhere.
oh my.
The most important thing, sweetie, is that the people are mostly okay. So for all he knows, they're under the rubble or burnt to a crisp.
I'm so sorry.
You did nothing wrong.
I tried. Sorry, what happened? There was nothing I could. There was nothing I could do.
Hug each other, please. Thank you.
There's nothing.
It's okay to grieve, but you can rebuild. And most of the people are alive, and that is the most important
In-between can be
thing.
entered through the moon nexus.
Oh, of course you want to go to the
There are
fucking moon
ways
nexus.
To create a portal in the garden of innocence.
Wait, I've been there.
Claudia.
Child.
The moon nexus itself.
Terry, you've got to stop her somehow.
Hey!
Everyone's coming back to see the damage and destruction and pain.
When I heard about the attack, I was afraid you were dead. No
I just love how much they all love each
I'd have
other.
definitely told you if I was dead.
Oh, Soren never changed.
No, you
Never
wouldn't have.
change. I mean, you have changed and I love it, but stay like this.
Right, because I.
Ezra, sweetheart, you couldn't have done anything about this. And every part of it can be rebuilt.
What happened?
We need these hugs.
But you said yourself, it's because they don't know.
We have to warn the mage and the warrior.
Mm-hmm.
We have to tell them.
Like, literally, once Callum had passed his test, like, been de-darkified, or whatever it was, I can't remember the phrase they used. Once he'd survived that and he'd gone through it, you should have told them that the thing they had wasn't the real prison. You should have told them the truth. And now, tell people the fucking truth. Like, everything Callum and Rayla did for these people, and they can't even do simple things to help others.
Even if events could be changed, it is not our place. It is not our culture.
Oh, I'm real sorry, actually. I'm gonna go back in time. I'm gonna grab Callum and Rayla, and I'm gonna say, hey, it's not actually our culture to stop the storm that's stopping them from seeing the stars. Actually, it's not our place. If these people want to go see the stars, then they should do it themselves. Sorry, Callum and Rayla, come home now. Not your place. Don't bother.
Promise that we will never interfere.
What is the fucking point of knowing them?
I never promised.
Good, I support you.
Hey, look what I found.
Oh, Soren, sweetheart.
It's a little fit for a king.
You're trying so hard, my love.
King of Ash.
Sorry, I was
I
just
know.
trying to stay positive.
King of a kingdom where most of the people survived. Oh, I know you miss them so much, and they love you forever. But the important thing is the majority of the people survived, and all that is destroyed can be rebuilt.
Well, I'm going to find him.
I know
Ezra,
you're angry,
sweetheart.
but let's not rush into danger until we know more.
You're falling down the dangerous path of revenge. Like, it's so easy, and I completely understand wanting to destroy the person that did this. The creature that did this, the person, whoever. I mean, we all know that Arabos is actually behind everything. But, like, doing this spiraling, your priority should be going and seeing the rest of your people, making sure they're okay, that they know you're okay. Reassuring them that you're going to be rebuilding, that everyone will survive this. And then, when there's time, go to the rest of the people of Zadia that you're allied with and say, look, Solregum did this, we need to stop him, and deal with it that way. But this kind of, I'm angry, I need revenge now, it's not good, it's bad.
That as you lead your kingdom back to safety and hope, you have my support.
Thank you. You're gonna walk around as a mountain?
Are fabulous.
I'm with Terry, completely unimpressed.
So dark. Such a kind young man.
Is this Aravos?
Killed my daughter.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
This is
Is there
Aravos.
anything
Oh
I can
god.
do to help you?
Not much, but it's all I have to
Don't
offer.
eat it, Callum!
You keep the apple.
Thank you very much, Corvus.
I'm so sorry about your daughter.
You're too good, Callum.
We will find a way
To move forward.
We can rebuild. It's gonna be a long process, but it will happen.
Rayla?
I'm so sorry.
Me
We
too.
love them all so much.
We're strong.
You!
Yeah, maybe not the best guy to have wandering straight into the courtyard.
Your fault. Soren, arrest him! Ezrin, please! I'm begging you, let's talk.
Rayla, we maybe should have left Runan outside. Like, I mean, obviously a lot has changed, a lot has happened. We know that the humans, including their father, weren't exactly honorable and good. But this is still, like, the man that, if I'm not mistaken, like, he literally was the one that killed the king, right? He was at least the last one alive, so maybe he wasn't literally the one, but I don't blame Ezrin for not being able to be like, oh, it's so good to see you! Like, oh...
Are you not the elf who killed my father, the king of Katalis?
I am.
Rayla, why did you bring him in? There is also an argument to be had that he's faced a degree of justice already, given the cruelty he faced at Viren's hands, but...
I am going to find the mage and the warrior,
Thank you.
and I am going to warn them.
I will tell you everything I know.
Thank
Everything
you.
I've seen.
One bloody vaguely decent thing you're doing here. The... oh my god. Star-touched elves, whatever. The people who see the future, they are frustrating me to death. Other than Astrid. Brain fogging names. I'm really sorry. I think they literally just said it. And I guess her brother telling her everything is something. Because Callum and Rayla did not need to do what they did for you. Like, yes, they got some information from them and they got the crystals from them. But They risked their lives. They did this mission for you because you needed help. And they were like, okay, well, if we're the ones who are supposed to help you, we will do it. And then when they're in need, you're like, oh, actually, we just watch. Great. You're really great people. What is the point of watching and knowing everything if you just sit there going, oh, I knew that would happen. Oh, people are going to die over there. That's funny. I know that's going to happen. Could I stop it? Yes. Will I stop it? Look, there they go. They're dying. So, Astrid, I like her. The brother, I guess at least he's giving her the information. And I really respect her because it seems quite final. Like that moment when all the light rushed in. Can she change her mind and go home again afterwards? Or will she be forever outcast? But I really respect her for trying to do the right thing and helping people. Someone else who needs to do the right thing is Claudia. Viren literally was like, hey Claudia, I've taken you down the wrong path and I don't want to do that anymore, so I'm gonna go now. And then you're like, you know what, I'm gonna keep helping Aravos, I'm gonna become Aravos' #1 acolyte. That's what my dad would have wanted. I will try and give her the grace of, obviously she's in a lot of grief. She's kind of at this point, through her own choices, burnt all of her other bridges, so really this is all she has. But she walked down this path. Yes, Viren held her hand and was dragging her that way, but she still made these choices to get here. And she has had her brother, who she was once close to, saying, this is wrong, we should stop. She's had her father, who she idolizes and did all this for, saying, this is wrong, we should stop. And she's had Terry, the man she supposedly loves, saying, I don't think this is a good idea, maybe we should stop. Every single person she supposedly cares about that is still alive, or when they were still alive, has turned to Claudia and said, I think you're going down the wrong path here. And Claudia has said, fuck you, I'm gonna go this way. Now, I will give her the grace of Aravos is extremely good at what he does, and what he does masterfully is manipulation, and he has constantly been in her ear, telling her things, give her, do this, do that. But it's reaching this point where I still love her as a character, and I still root for her ultimately getting a redemption arc somehow, but she's frustrating me at this point, because every single person she loves has been like, I'm not so sure about this Aravos guy, maybe we should not. And she's been like, nope, I'm gonna do it. Now, obviously, Aravos is playing on her grief over losing Viren, over losing the last piece of family that she had. Although, to be honest, I'm pretty sure if she found Soren and said she was really sorry, he'd probably forgive her. Like, not instantly, but, you know, given that they were really close, and Soren knows what it's like to make mistakes, I think he probably would have a far easier time forgiving her than he did his father, because that was a whole different dynamic. But anyway, like, she is just making these terrible choices, and what I'm hoping for with her is a last-minute redemption arc. Now, not really last minute, I only say last minute because it's the final season. Ideally, I wouldn't want it to happen in the finale. I mean, if it happens, it happens. I think that, for me, at this point, the really telling moment when it comes to Claudia is going to be when Aravos is going to hurt someone. What is her opinion on it? Does she want to stop him? Does she not? Now, obviously, she also hates aliens and she also hates all of the dragons. So if he's like, oh, I'm going to go kill all the dragons, she's quite happy about that. But if it's an innocent person, whether it's an elf, a human, Soren, Callum, you know, someone she used to care about, or a complete innocent stranger, in a lot of ways, it would be much more interesting if it is someone that she has no prior attachment to. What is her opinion there? Whether Erebos is killing them for fun, because it's part of his plan, or because it's like, well, I need that innocent person's heart in order to do my spell. What is Claudia going to do then? And I really hope we do see her in that kind of situation, because it will be really eye-opening as to who she is. And if she does continue to make the dark choices, I actually hope we see Terry leave her. I mean, I worried that he wouldn't survive that decision, and I don't dislike him and want him to die, but I do think Terry is someone that, obviously, love can blind you to a lot of people's faults, and we know that, but like at this point, they're in quite a toxic relationship, because he loves her despite her doing these evil things that we know he doesn't agree with. So there surely will come a point where either he will join her in being bloodthirsty, or he will leave. On the flip side of that, I can also see Aravos viewing Terry as a problem, because he quite clearly is not merrily on board with everything Arvo says. He is giving him weird looks, and he's thinking things through, and he's advising Claudia that, hey, let's just go our own way now. And I could see Arvo's trying to seed doubt into Claudia's mind about Terry, and is Terry really trustworthy, and do you really want him around? So I'm intrigued to see how this dynamic goes. So when I say like Claudia's frustrating me, she's still a fascinating character, and she is someone that, like, rewatching from season 1 to now, it is so tragic to watch her downfall, but also really frustrating because she's this brilliant young woman who is making all of these terrible choices. So I'm stressed really about what they're doing. And there was a point when I did think Aravos had turned himself into a mountain and was going to travel around as a mountain. So yeah, turning into like the evil queen from Snow White was a look. It was a choice. Very glad Callum didn't take the apple. I'm still stressed though because that was Aravos, right, that was talking with Callum and Corvus, because the fact that he stuck around and that he even like went out of his way to talk to Callum and like offered him a creepy evil apple worries me that he still has his sights set on Callum. Like, you've got Claudia, leave Callum out of this. It's all very unnerving. I'm also very worried about Ezran. He is still so young. Like, given how he is older than he was when we first met him, and given how wise he is for his years, it is easy to kind of lose track of just how young he is and just how much he has suffered and how much responsibility is on his shoulders. No one should be in the position he's in, let alone a kid like him. He's brilliant and I love him, but I do think he's lost so much and been put to such a breaking point and tried so hard to do things the right way and to help people and to make things better for everybody, and at every turn he's just been slapped in the face with more loss. That I'm worried that we're beginning to see him wobble and lose himself. And for someone who is a king, an all-powerful king, that is a very, very dangerous, precarious position to be in. Now with Ezran, I do believe he is surrounded by good people who love him, so I think he'll be okay. But I worry about him because like the way he was like, we're gonna find Sol Regum and we're gonna kill him, was extreme. It was an understandable response to what had happened, but it was also an extreme response. It was anger, pure and simple. It was revenge, and it was the kind of thing that if Aravos sees a need in it, could tap into. And then Runan. Now, obviously, as far as Rayla is concerned, like, she and Callum have come to an okay place when it comes to Runan, and like they're all accepting of him. And like he did kill the king, he did kill their father, and like that was kind of, as far as the boys are concerned, the first domino to fall. Now, really, the first domino to fall was the moment Aravos got in Viren's ear and started leading him down his dark path and convinced him to go and kill the dragon that they killed, etc. That was really the first domino, but the first noticeable domino that really fell for Ezran was the death of his father. And it was the moment when everything kicked up several notches. He became the king. He had the person with all this responsibility. His life went from a relatively carefree prince being prepared to one day have responsibility to, we've got to get this egg back to its mother to stop a war between Zadia and the humans, and there's this huge life and death stakes for everybody. I don't blame him for being angry at Runan, and I do think there probably is a reality where Runan should face some kind of trial or justice for what he did, because he was just an assassin that popped in and killed a king. But obviously the argument can be had right back that the humans should also face some kind of a trial for what they did, even if they had a good reason to do it in the first place. Now, Runan was captured and tortured by Viren, and then put into a coin where he was tortured some more for multiple years. I feel like maybe we could call that time served, like, at least the beginning of time served. But yeah, the moment Runan was walking into the courtyard, I was thinking, is Ezran gonna be okay with this? Because we know Callum loves Rayla and has spent a lot of time with Rayla and her grief over Runan, and I feel like because of that, he has come to have a much more nuanced view over Runan, even given everything that happened. Whereas Ezran is younger, it was his literal father, and I know that I'm not trying to minimize how much Callum loved his stepfather, because we know he did, but I just feel like it was really short-sighted to bring him in to Catullus. And yeah, I'm stressed about this because obviously Rayla's just gonna want him to go free, and I'm worried about where Ezran's head is at right now, and I kind of feel like this is the last thing he needed to be dealing with in this moment. So we will see what happens, but I'm just stressed because I love them all. Now, my favourite parts of this episode were the times when they all saw each other and they were hugging and they were so happy they were alive. Those were beautiful. But all the times they were able to be really pleased that they were alive and they'd survived. I'd like to see where the rest of the people of Catullus are, and to see that everyone's okay and they can try and begin this. Now, they obviously all need to realise Aravos is back, and that's the biggest threat we've got right now, is whatever he's up to, because it's nothing good. I'm assuming Astrid is going to turn up at some point and be the one to be like, hey, Aravos is back, and everyone will be like, oh, fuck. And we'll get to work with stopping him somehow. But I'm stressed, because there are now, what, 8 episodes left in order to solve everything. And I hope in the final episode we get at least a little glimpse. I don't need like a glimpse at like for the rest of their lives, but it's like a little glimpse into like Catullus being rebuilt and the Sun Kingdom being rebuilt and kind of Xadia and humans working well together and things being better is what I'd like to see. But yeah, brilliant first episode back. I love this show so much. Reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance, and thank you so much for watching.